Good night, Malaysian 370.
In March 8, 2014, a modern commercial aircraft disappeared. Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport just after midnight, bound for Beijing. On board were 239 people, passengers and crew from 14 different countries. The aircraft was a Boeing 777-200ER, one of the most reliable long-haul airplanes in service. The weather was normal, there were no warnings, no technical alerts, and no signs of trouble during takeoff. Less than an hour later, the aircraft was gone. At 1:19 a.m. local time, the pilots made their final radio transmission to air traffic control.
Good night, Malaysian 370.
Shortly after that, the plane's transponder, the system that broadcasts its identity and altitude, stopped transmitting. At first, controllers assumed a routine handoff between air traffic control zones, but minutes passed, then more minutes. MH370 never checked in again.
What initially appeared to be a communications issue quickly became something else. Military radar data later revealed that the aircraft did not continue toward China. Instead, it turned sharply west, crossing back over the Malay Peninsula. This turn was not part of the flight plan. The radar showed MH370 flying across Malaysia, out over the Andaman Sea, and away from all civilian radar coverage. This meant one thing was already clear. The aircraft did not suffer a sudden catastrophic failure early in the flight. It was still airborne. Investigators determined that the plane continued flying for hours after its last radio contact, but without a transponder, traditional tracking systems could no longer see it. For several days, the search focused on the South China Sea, the area where the aircraft was expected to be. Ships, aircraft, and satellites scoured the region. Nothing was found. Then, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. The aircraft's satellite communication system had continued to send automated signals to a communication satellite operated by Inmarsat. These signals, known as handshakes, occurred roughly once every hour. They did not contain location data, but they did reveal something crucial. The aircraft was still powered and still flying. By analyzing the timing and frequency shifts of these signals, engineers were able to estimate the aircraft's distance from the satellite at each handshake. This analysis produced two vast possible paths, a northern corridor stretching across Central Asia and a southern corridor extending deep into the Indian Ocean. Over time, the northern route was ruled out using radar data, aircraft performance limits, and lack of sightings. The focus shifted south to one of the most remote and inhospitable regions on Earth. What followed became the largest search in the history of aviation. Dozens of countries participated. Aircraft, ships, sonar systems, and underwater drones were deployed. The search area covered hundreds of thousands of square kilometers of ocean, with depths reaching more than 4 kilometers. Despite years of effort and billions of dollars spent, the main wreckage of MH370 was never located. In 2015, more than a year after the disappearance, the first confirmed piece of debris was found on Reunion Island in the Indian Ocean. It was a flaperon, a control surface from the wing of a Boeing 777. Over time, additional fragments were discovered along the coast of Africa and nearby islands. Several were confirmed to belong to MH370. These findings confirmed that the aircraft ended its flight in the southern Indian Ocean. But they did not answer the central questions. Multiple official investigations were conducted, including a multinational effort led by Malaysian authorities. No evidence of mechanical failure was found. There were no signs of onboard fire, explosion, or structural breakup in the air. Investigators examined the backgrounds of the crew, the maintenance history of the aircraft, and the cargo manifest. None provided a definitive explanation. Flight simulator data recovered from the captain's home computer showed routes similar to the southern Indian Ocean, but investigators concluded this alone could not establish intent or cause. In 2018, the final official investigation report was released. Its conclusion was unprecedented in modern aviation. The cause of the disappearance could not be determined. As of today, no government-led search operation is active. Private companies, including Ocean Infinity, have periodically proposed renewed searches using advanced autonomous underwater vehicles. Some proposals are based on no-fine, no-fee agreements. Families of the victims continue to push for answers, accountability, and transparency. MH370 remains officially classified as an unresolved accident. More than a decade later, it stands as the greatest unsolved mystery in commercial aviation history. Not because of a lack of effort, but because in this case, modern technology reached its limits, and the ocean kept it secret.